All right, welcome to Praise and Worship Guitar in the key of E. This is part 3 on this series. Previously we've learned a couple things. Let me just go over it. Let me zoom in real quick so you can see a little bit better. We have our E chords we learned here. E, and our B sus, our A second, and we're putting this behind C sharp minor 7, F sharp minor 7. And we learn how to use this form for the B and the C sharp minor 7 up here on the E. If we want to use that, then we can play this little note behind the E. Then our F sharp minor 7 chord, we play it up here on the C sharp minor, or C sharp minor 7. And then also our E chords. These are open in the bottom 2 strings. So we've got all these chords. Alright, so what I'm talking about now is, what is it, when sometimes you'll see a chord that says E over G sharp, or A over C sharp, or B over D sharp. And what that's saying is you're going to play, basically the chord, the 3 note, any given chord has 3 notes. So an E chord has 3 notes. And so you have an E, a G sharp, and a B in the key of any chord of E. So even if we look at an E chord here, those 3 notes, even though we're playing 6 strings, there are only 3 notes in that. We have E, B, E again, G sharp, B, and then E again. So the G sharp, when they say E over G sharp, what they're saying is play an E chord, but your bass note, your lowest note played, we want it to be a G sharp. Well, this is a G sharp right here on the 4th string, okay? And so if we played an E chord and stuck our pinky finger up here on the 4th fret, that would be our G sharp. Now I admit that's actually kind of a stretch. You really have to work to get that. But it sounds cool, you know, when you go. So I'll show you another one in just a minute, another way to play a G sharp, E over G sharp. So we've got that one, and then also our A over C sharp. Here's our C sharp note. Same principle. We're going to play an A second. By the way, anytime that there's a major chord, you can always play the second. You can always, actually, a major or minor, you can add the second in any chord. So if you see an A chord, you feel free to play an A second. If you see a D chord, feel free to play a D second. It will never conflict. The second note of the scale never conflicts, major or minor. So if we have a second chord, and this is our C sharp, that means our lowest note needs to be C sharp. Just put your pinky right there. Anyway, so there's that. Then if this same form right here, if you slide it up 2, that would be our B over D sharp chord, because basically here's our B sus chord. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these 2 guys out for these 2 guys. Okay? And then this note that was down here, the bass note, is going to be played up here, which is a D sharp. Okay? So those are your basic ones to do. We've got E over G sharp, A over C sharp, B over D sharp. Now, I'm going to show you a little grouping of chords that you can play all those chords without even moving your hand that much. And watch this. So if we take these are, instead of playing our E chord like this, what we're going to do is we're going to take this note right here and play this one here, which is a B. Okay, so we're exchanging the G sharp for a B chord, a B note. Okay. Now this, what it does is actually eliminates the G sharp from the whole chord, which gets a really, you're only playing all 6 strings, you're actually only playing 2 notes. So it's got a really full sound. Oops. Okay, so if we're doing that right there, there's our E chord. Now watch this. Here's our form. This is a whole grouping of chords you can do here. If we play our E is here, C sharp minor 7, what I'm going to do is, instead of playing it like this, I'm going to just take this finger put it on my C sharp. My first finger is going to go on the 4th string, 2nd fret. That right there, great chord. So there's our E, C sharp minor 7. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to take my top finger right here, and move it onto my top string on the G sharp. So it was on the C sharp, now it's going to be on the G sharp. There's my E over G sharp chord, E over G sharp chord. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking the meat of this finger is touching that string, the A string, so that it's not ringing out. Otherwise, it would sound like that and it'd sound really bad. So our E over G sharp. So we have like our E chord, C sharp minor 7, E over G sharp. And then our A chord, all we got to do is take this finger off and play this. Okay, so it's just basically just like our C sharp minor 7 or the E over G sharp, except we're taking this finger off and we're playing these 5 strings. Okay, so those 3 chords there, E, A, C sharp minor 7, E over G sharp. Okay, and then watch, our F sharp minor 7 that we learned before is right there. Okay, so we have kind of like all of those are right in the same position. Oh, it's our B sus chord there. Okay, now another thing you can do, this chord, this form right here, this is also our A over C sharp chord. Okay, so the C sharp minor and A over C sharp chord are going to be the same one in this form. So also, if I take the same form and I slide it up 2, here's my B over D sharp chord. So sometimes if you have something that's walking down, you know, it's going like E, B over D sharp, C sharp minor 7, or A over C sharp, B, A7, E over G sharp. All those chords, my bass note just went. Whole scale. Okay, so there's some options there. Now, you don't want, again, like any of the other chords, you don't want to do this all the time. Mix it up. You don't want to get to where, okay, this is the only C sharp minor 7 that I want to play. Play this one sometimes too. I think this one sounds a little bit better actually. But mix it up where it's changing up. Don't always play that chord right there. You know, you can always the E over G sharp this way. Play the E over G sharp this way if you want. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful to you. Give you some options on to play, but just to kind of review everything, the main licks that you want to do is the E here. This is the parts 1, 2, and 3. Full review here. We've got our E chords here. Great way to end the song too. A chords. Okay, F sharp minor 7 chords. B chords. C sharp minor 7. Okay, let's see, what else was there? Then all the over chords, E over G sharp, E over G sharp this way, A over C sharp, A over C sharp this way. And that should do it. A couple other little tricks that I just realized as I was doing it. The E thing here, you can switch it up. And then if you add this, basically you're going to take this finger, put it where the first finger's at, and then put this one down on the 6th fret. It's just another lick you can do. You're going, and so it's going to go. Alright, so hopefully that's helpful to you. Be on the lookout for other praise and worship guitar lessons. But these were types of things that I had picked up over the years, that someone would show me something, or I'd see someone do something and say, hey, what did you do there? And after I learned it, I think to myself, how did I even play without it? Without kind of knowing those chords or a little trick to make something sound better. And so I wanted to pass that on to anybody else, especially for those that are doing praise and worship, the leading praise and worship where they're the main instrument, like guitar. And especially if you don't have a large band where you're the one holding down a lot of the things, a lot of the harmonies you're holding down on the guitar, that can be kind of difficult. Especially if you only know a few chords of each one. But if you're able to change it up, if you're able to change up the chords you're playing and to do a variety, you're playing not just the same E or not just the same A, for the person that's listening, it makes it a little bit more interesting and a lot less dry, and you're able to go get some dynamics in your praise and worship set, and that's really important. So hopefully you'll take the time to just practice these and get them down. It's not going to come easy, especially if you're a beginner to intermediate player. Just sit down and practice. Anything that is you're going to get in an hour's time is not going to be that difficult. You need to spend some time. And you might want to say, okay, for this week, I'm going to really master these chords. Just this form here. And the next week, say, all right, I'm going to really get the F sharp minor 7. So you spend maybe a couple hours a day even just going back and forth, getting your hand to memorize that position. Another thing I'll do that I just remembered is, instead of playing my A like this, I'll play my A with my thumb instead. That opens up my first finger to be able to go. Just an option. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful to you, and good luck.